Hey there, bold move makers and people who are ready to live their life uncloseted. I'm your host, Rick Clemens, and it's time for another Life Uncloseted Riff and Rant. And guess what? You ain't got your shit together. And guess what? Neither do I. I admit it. But that's the thing is, when we most want to get something done and we're not doing it, and we can't seem to get it to happen, we keep stumbling, we keep falling. I believe the greatest gift we can give ourselves is to admit, I don't have my shit together. Because when we do that, then we start to realize this thing that sometimes gets in the way, that we want somebody else to clean up the messes of our lives. And you know what? We can't. Okay, some people can contribute to that. Yes, they can help us find ways to do this. Even this podcast, I hope, is some way of helping somebody clean up the mess of their lives. But nobody's here to clean up yours. We're all responsible for cleaning up our own messes in our own lives. And when we can do that, I believe one of the greatest things we can learn is that life isn't fair. And quite honestly, it doesn't have to be. But if we hang on that first part of what I just said, oh my God, life is so unfair. Oh, who the fuck said it had to be? It's some construct that we've created as a society that says, oh, everything has to be honky-dory and da-da-da. And there are days that it is good and that life is fair and all this sort of stuff. And then wham, bam, something hits, the shit hits the fan. And suddenly we're in the victim mode. Oh my God, life is so unfair, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? The best thing you can do to realize that you don't have your shit together is to say, I don't like this story. I do not like it. It does not represent me. It does not show where I want to be in life. And you start to get rid of some of the old mechanics that are in your life. I don't mean old mechanics that are working on your car, but kind of. Isn't that an interesting metaphor? Because if your car breaks down, you got to get the right mechanics or the right tools or the right things back in your car to get it running. So we get rid of the old mechanics of life and we bring new ones in. Because you see, once we begin to bring those new ones in, then we can stop making excuses. We can move past these excuses that, I don't know, somehow we all seem to find so appealing at times. I mean, myself is a good example. I have been making excuses about, oh, I don't know if I want to do this or I want to write this blog post or blah, 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 blah. And quite honestly, this podcast is about a blog post that's up on my blog called You Don't Have Your Shit Together. Now, that's not exactly the title, but it's actually like 10 reasons, non-scientific, non-guru ways to get your shit together. And as I wrote that blog post, I thought, wow, and I'll put a link in on the show page to it so you can go read it. I thought, I am self-reflecting here, and I'm self-reflecting in a very, very big way. But what it helped me do is realize I was creating excuses, and some of those excuses, ooh, they were feeling so good and so comfortable because it kept me from doing the things I needed to do. But the thing is every time we make someone else responsible to clean up our mess, that we feel that life isn't fair, that we get stuck in our story and we don't try to fix it, that we keep using the same mechanical ways to get through life, and we keep making all these excuses, all we're doing is making the shit harder that we already have going on. Life ain't easy. Even in the good times, it's kind of a challenge. The truth is, this shit is hard, so why do we make it harder? When you say yes, but, or it's way too much, or oh my God, I've got an excuse, or you don't take care of yourself, or you're constantly obliging and taking care of others, you are making this shit harder, so stop it. Instead, stand in your power, stand in yourself, get past all the stuff you fear, being rejected, being ridiculed, the confrontations, getting out of your comfort zone. Just all that fear stuff, say bye-bye and bye-bye and bye-bye. And step into the truth and admit, I don't have my shit together. This story is no longer working. It doesn't represent me. And it's time for me to move past my excuses. Because you see, when you do that, then you start cleaning up your mess. And when you can clean up your mess, then you can be your best. And I know that's something you've heard other people say in different ways, but I truly believe it. I have had so many messes in my life, especially over the last 20 years. Ever since I came out of the closet in 1999, man, there's been messes to clean up. Some of them I tried to make other people responsible for. Some of them I still try to make other people responsible for. But the truth is, it's my mess and I get to clean it up. And when I do, when I start to thrive, and when I get past it, the shit that's hard gets easier. And I'm not making it harder. So I invite you, take this challenge. Admit you don't have your shit together and start doing the work to clean up your own mess. Sure, enlist others' help, but remember, it's your mess to clean up, your mess to own, and your mess to walk through and go, that mess is gone. And then you'll be able to admit, I've got my shit together. I'll just let you resonate on that one. Take it home. Percolate on that for a little bit, and we'll be back with you in just a few days with another episode of Life Uncloseted, the podcast. Thanks for listening. Love you bunches, and take care.